Typical.
It's early.
It is. So thank you. We're going to go ahead and get started since it is 10-ish, 10:01. Thanks for coming. We're going to be talking about managing blogger expectations, impressions versus conversions. I want to encourage you to take the time to fill out your feedback form when we're finished. Not now, because, there's nothing to fill it out for. But when we're finished, because that's how Affiliate Summit they take that feedback very seriously. So give it to any staff member. Even if you're in the hallway and forget later, you can give it to any staff member any time of day. And 5 will randomly be drawn each day for a Networking Plus pass for Affiliate Summit East. So it's in your best interest to do it, really. So we're going to talk about some definitions, not too technical, but I did tweet them. So if you go to my Twitter at Trisha Lynn, and it's up there on the screen, you'll find a blog post with the definitions. So if you don't have to furiously write them down when we talk about them. Just wanted to throw that out there. So on our panel, we have myself. I'm an affiliate manager with Snow Consulting. We're an outsourced program management firm, so we manage programs on behalf of the merchant. We have Mindy Marzec, who is, I don't know what you're talking about. Let's just introduce ourselves.
Okay.
That's probably easiest.
Hi, my name is Mindy Marzec, and I am a lifestyle blogger. Been blogging for about 5 years, and I work closely with both affiliate marketing and brand campaigns. So yeah, that's it. You can find me at MindyJoyM on Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, etc.
I'm Carolyn West. I have a personal blog at thistalkaintcheap.com. I've been blogging for about 8 years, lifestyle blog. I also am a campaign leader with Collective Bias, one of the larger blog networks, and I run campaigns for lots of large brands. I work with bloggers on a daily basis, choosing them for the campaigns, monitoring their content, that sort of thing. I also have a blog network of my own with 900 bloggers, all Southern California bloggers, and they are in all different kinds of niches. And we hold mostly educational workshops and events and bring a lot of that to them. I don't do brand content or affiliate stuff with that particular network. That's mostly educational.
My name is Christen Moynihan. I am a blogger at thebrokeassbride.com, which is a budget wedding blog. I also have Bourbon and Sparkle, which is a consulting business for bloggers who are trying to get into affiliate marketing. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at brokeasschris10, the number 10. I work both in affiliate, heavily, obviously, and I do direct campaigns with the Broke Ass Bride.
Great. So basically, our goal is to talk about the differences between the way affiliate managers talk to bloggers and vice versa, and the way brand managers talk to bloggers and vice versa. So the first thing we're going to jump into is one of the biggest things, and it's a question for mostly Christen and Mindy. How would affiliate managers need to approach bloggers differently than you get approached by a brand manager?
Want me to take this?
Yeah.
Okay. Affiliate managers versus brand managers. Brand managers often approach us with, we want to pay you directly to talk about our brand. Affiliate managers need to approach me with, we want you to talk about our brand, our products, our merchant, but we want you to do it in a way that's conducive with your everyday speaking. We want you to fit it into your content in an organic way as opposed to a direct post specifically about any product or any brand in particular. So it has to be more of a conversational piece where I'm able to just slip it right on into the blog post versus something that's dedicated. But I need to know what the benefits of that are going to be. I need to know what my conversion or what my commission rate is going to be for featuring them and making those conversions. I need to know what my cookie length is going to be, and if you say anything less than 30 days, I will not work with you. And I need to know the other information. I need to know what performs well as far as products. I need to know how often it converts, what the EPC is, and you're welcome to elaborate on EPC. I need to know stats specifically about the program.
So that's one of those definitions. So EPC is earnings, innings. I'm ready
Not
for
baseball.
baseball. Yeah. Earnings per 100 clicks. So that's to say it's how much money or commissions you make when your links generate when averaged by 100 clicks. So, 100 clicks, you made $100. That's a $1 EPC.
Yes.
Okay. So to tee off of that, we talked about the jargon. So you mentioned EPC, but the feedback that we get as affiliate managers is that if we talk to a blogger and say, oh, the program has this kind of EPC, the reaction is going to be, what? So what kind of jargon would you think in a pitch email? I mean, obviously you guys are a little ahead of the curve of most bloggers because you're here, you know about affiliate marketing, but what kind of jargon do you think is useful, maybe more useful than EPC to somebody who maybe doesn't know what EPC is?
Yeah, I would say that the best thing to do as an affiliate manager or as someone representing the brand is if you're first reaching out to a blogger or a publisher, just go with the basics. Don't assume that they know the jargon. Don't
Overwhelm them
don't
with
overwhelm them with
statistics
statistics unless they ask for it, unless it's someone that you've worked with for a while or you've worked with before and they know the jargon. I would keep it very, very simple, very, very plain terms. When I get an email regarding a brand pitch, I want to know what do you want me to talk about and what's the rate? Like that's a good starting point. And then with affiliates, it's, again, what's the brand, what's the product, what's the commission percentage, and then from there, let me reach out for more information and ask more questions. So my recommendation would just be to keep it very basic, very simple, easy to understand terms, no acronyms at that point in the initial email on both sides, and then let the publisher come to you if they want more information about the product.
And to piggyback off that, I'm sorry, but
That's fine.
to piggyback off that, personalization is very important as well. You want to make sure that you're actually speaking to the blogger that you're meaning to speak to,
Yeah.
not like, this is your name here.
Yeah,
We
don't say
get
dear
that a lot.
blogger.
Dear customer?
Yes.
If the email starts with Dear Blogger, I'm not going to go any farther than that. Sorry, take the time to learn my name. It's right there on my website.
And
Very easy to find.
Actually review the blog as well. Know who their target audience is. Know who you're speaking to. I work with a budget blog. Don't pitch me something that costs $50,000. It's not going to work. You're not going to convert with my audience. Know your audience. Know who you're reaching out to.
And, on that, we were talking about in our conversations before the panel, the difference between the kind of, and I guess affiliate managers are guilty of this. Maybe Carolyn, you could talk about when you reach out to a blogger, you're very specific in what you want from them in terms of these are the, things you want, this is the image you want, whereas affiliates are a little more free form, like here's a link, have fun.
Right.
Go play.
Right. And most bloggers are used to working with brands, and they are. It's very specific in the requirements that a brand or a blog network wants from you. There's keywords, there's messaging, there's maybe certain images that they want you to capture. So it's very detailed. Even though they want you to tell a story and use your own words, there's definitely certain requirements that have to be included in that post in order for you to get paid on that post. So I think with working with affiliates, it's completely different. You are crafting all of that.
Yeah, and we're guilty of, saying, okay, would you like to join our program? You can make 10% commission. Okay, you're in, great, go get some links. Do what you gotta do.
Have fun.
And I think, like I said, we're guilty of that because we don't know the level of expertise that any particular blogger has about affiliate marketing. Obviously, we know they're interested enough to be in the affiliate program, and they've gotten that far. But from there, we never know if they're Christen or if they just started a WordPress blog yesterday and they just heard about this affiliate marketing thing. So we need to be a little more specific when working with bloggers on, hey, you feel free to ask me for images. Here's the key points of, this is what about our product that you might like. But other than that, we don't want to be too specific because we're not trying to craft their content, but at the same time, we need to provide a little more direction on that content.
Yeah, and the thing that's interesting about working with both is that when I work with a brand, I expect to get an email, again, with the key points, with the talking points, and I expect that because I'm getting paid up front. I'm getting paid a flat fee, and I feel like that it's fine to have those requirements, and I agree to that, obviously. And then with the affiliate side, I like when, so it's kind of like with the brand side, they say, this is what you need to do. And then with the affiliate manager side, they come to me and say, what do you need from me? So, and it's interesting because with the affiliate side, I put in my links, and it's up to me to use those links in the best way possible for me to maximize my earnings instead of getting a flat fee. So I like when the affiliate manager comes to me and says, what do you need to be successful to get the most out of these links? And then we can work together to craft something tailored to me. Whereas with the brand side, it's more, I mean, they're choosing me because they like my blog, they like my voice, they know I can make an authentic story, but it's a little more
It's a
stricter.
completely different approach.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
You
just a
have to-
completely
you do
different
have
approach
And I
right
think
from the
it's,
get-go.
from how I see it, the brands have to put in that effort up front because you're getting a product up front or you're getting a flat fee up front. And so they have to make sure that they're getting their ROI on what return on investment.
Yeah, they want
Guilty.
their money's worth if they're
They
paying
want to
you.
make sure their money's worth,
Absolutely.
whereas an affiliate manager, we're not putting in any money up front. We're just saying it's on you to make your money, so we're not used to maybe putting in so much, like effort on the front end. Making demands, yeah. But to that, we've heard a lot in other sessions this conference and in general, that affiliate managers should just give bloggers their content. Should I just
Please-
write a post for
please
you and send it to you?
Nope, don't do that.
Please don't.
That's the fastest way to never, ever, ever get me to check your email ever again.
Because as a blogger, I get hundreds of those a day, literally hundreds of those a day, and I go through, delete. I don't post press releases. I don't post other people's content if they wrote it for me. I just don't. Most bloggers won't. And if they do, you don't want to work with them.
They're not the type you want to work
You
with.
do not want to
Bloggers
work
have
with them.
taken successful bloggers have taken a lot of time and energy to craft their own voice and craft their own audience. And when you tell us, like, hey, copy and paste this,
No.
and you'll get blah, blah, don't do it.
Yeah.
And don't trust somebody that does it, because it's lazy. It's incredibly lazy. But B, that means that they don't care enough
On the part of the
about-
blogger, you're saying
Yes,
that it's lazy.
Yes.
It's
it's
so
a lot
much
of
work
work
on
for-
the side of the affiliate manager, but on the side of the blogger, it's lazy, and it also shows that they don't care about crafting the content that has gotten them to the point of being a successful blogger, and it won't help them be a more successful
Right.
blogger.
Yeah, there have been other panels and much more knowledgeable people than us to tell you it's also not a good idea for your SEO, your search engine rankings on your blog, because it's duplicate content issues all over the place.
So what you do if, instead of doing that, if that's something that perhaps has been practiced in the past, what brand networks and brand managers do is give you key points about their product, or maybe things that, like phrases or sentences they want you to touch on, and they'll say, here's 10, choose 3 or 4 that we'd like you to work into your own post. So that's an alternative, that's a wonderful alternative to actually telling us to copy and paste an entire paragraph.
Right.
Just give us some bullet points so that we can craft our own paragraph in our own authentic voice.
And bloggers on the other end, don't be afraid to ask for that information from your affiliate managers. Your brand managers are probably going to give you that information from the get-go.
Right.
But if you're an affiliate and you want that information, get it.
Yeah.
Ask for it. That's what your affiliate manager is there for. They're
Exactly.
there to help you.
My job is to answer your emails, pretty much.
And she's really good at it.
So if, we were having conversations with other people that said they didn't know they could email their affiliate
Yeah.
manager and ask for an image. You
Please
can
do.
ask me for anything. I don't necessarily have it, but I can try to get it for you. Obviously there are limitations to anything, but yeah, we are so used to just saying, here, have a link, go have fun, that if you need top sellers, ask us for top sellers, we can get it for you. If you want to know what's converting at the highest rate right now and doing the best in terms of sales, we can get that information for you.
Yeah, what's working for other publishers
Right,
now?
and what's working for, wedding publishers versus fashion publishers, like if there's overlap in the type of bloggers that you work with for any particular, niche. And it's also on us as affiliate managers again, know who we're talking to. I'm not going to, I have a fashion client that has Disney stuff, so I might reach out to Mindy and say, hey, they have some shirts. Like, you might want to check this out. But I'm not going to reach out to Christen and say, hey, they have some shirts in here. What?
So I'm gonna be like,
They convert really well. You might want to try it.
congratulations.
So it's knowing who you're talking to. And that does come with having gotten past that initial introduction somewhere to know, to get a little bit more knowledge and more in depth than just kind of reading somebody's homepage because, as a lifestyle blogger, you could have talked about 3 things, this last week, and I could have read that have nothing to do with Disney, and I could have read your last 3 posts and said, hey, you want to talk about financial offers? Or, I don't know.
Well, and if it helps, keep a spreadsheet with just keywords related to the blog. Once you establish a relationship with someone and you have a good feeling about it and you think it's going to be a long-term partnership, put some keywords down. And same with your affiliate managers. If you're a publisher or a blogger, keep a little note of who has what program, establish those relationships, and you'll get a lot more out of it. Relationships are key, I think.
Relationships
Yeah.
are key. If you're
Yeah.
going to take away anything, I hope you take away a lot more than that, but if you're going to take away anything, it's about establish relationships and maintain and cultivate those relationships. Nourish them, because they are the most important part of both branding
Absolutely.
and blogging and affiliate stuff with blogging.
Yeah, I can't even tell you how many times I've, been in a conversation with any affiliate, really, but a blogger specifically or another kind of affiliate, and they've said, yeah, we're doing really well in the eyewear space. And I said, we manage an eyewear program, right? And they're like, what? So, there are a lot of opportunities to be had by just paying attention and knowing that kind of thing.
One of the things that I've done with the few affiliates that I do is I'll ask, like especially seasonally, I'll ask, like, do you have anything that you really want to promote, that you're working with, any businesses that, you just have this new product or something special
Right.
that I can help with?
Yeah, and as, even an in-house manager should know that, like what they want to promote that season, but especially as a, outsourced program manager where we manage multiple programs,
Right.
it's easy to be able to tailor something for a blogger and say, okay, you write about your family, we've got these pajamas, or, this, okay, maybe this is more of a Father's Day thing and less of like a Christmas thing, but we've got this if you're interested. And not to say we're not going to throw some stuff out there that might not stick, but at least we know that we're not going to talk to the 3 of you the same way. We're going to know what it is that you do and what it is that will not just is something we want to push. Like, even if we want to push a car stereo, I'm not going to reach out to you and say, well, what we really want to push is a car stereo. Unless, I've read your blog and you maybe talk about what you're going to get for, somebody else that's into cars or something like that. It's just knowing what your audience is. So another question that we have is something that comes up a lot with bloggers and affiliate managers. We talk about the long tail a lot as affiliate managers and kind of going for the long game, monetizing old content that still gets traffic, things like that, kind of low-hanging fruit of ways you can make money. But we have found in talking to bloggers that the idea of going back and monetizing old content is kind of a light bulb moment that it's not necessarily realize they could do that. So do you think in general it's accurate to say that bloggers may tend to have a bit of a short-sightedness when it comes to, like, brands just give you the stuff, they give you the money,
Yes.
you're out the door with your payment, whereas we're trying to encourage you to do stuff that's going to keep making you money.
Absolutely.
Do it. Go back and rework those posts. Add new photos, add new links. Absolutely. There's posts that I have from years ago that keep popping up. It's crazy. It's
I will throw a tool out real quick. If you run on WordPress, there's a free plugin called Broken Link Checker.
Yes.
It's great. Totally free plugin, and it tells you if images are broken or if links are broken. I use that on like my personal stuff
However,
all
if
the
you use
time.
WP Engine as your host, they will not let you use that.
Well, okay then.
wow.
Fun fact, no one shared.
They're in the exhibit hall. Go ask them why.
I have a question, I guess, about from the brand standpoint, when we do a brand campaign, I know that there's generally requirements as part of the upfront email, like you do one post and you do 4 tweets over a period of 24 hours and you do a Facebook post. Is there any benefit from the brand standpoint if I keep promoting that? Like, does anyone notice?
Yes. Yes, if you're working, well, you can ask the brand. I mean, it depends if you're working directly with the brand and what they're tracking.
Okay.
And you can absolutely always ask. And if they don't, do it yourself, because that's a relationship that you want to cultivate.
Yeah.
And I've gone back to brands that I've worked with, 6 months ago, and hey, this post is recycling. It's coming back up in my top feed again, just to let you know, this is how many impressions I got this week. Absolutely, because they're going to look at you again and say, wow, she did a post for us 6 months ago and she's still getting, traction
And again,
on it.
it's about relationship building too, because a
Absolutely.
lot of bloggers will take their fee and do the bare minimum and then
Move on.
that's it, they're done with it. But if I can show that I'm tweeting it a few more times, a few more months later,
They
I'm
will
still getting the
notice.
brand name out there, Carolyn's going to remember me and hopefully get me on more campaigns.
And that kind of,
And that's also something that you can, as Carolyn was saying, is reach out to your brand manager and be like, hey, yo, homie, just in case you didn't notice,
Yeah.
like, I've been rocking this over here. Like,
And tag them, like if you're going to share it on Twitter or Facebook, tag them, because I did a post for Nudge's dog treats, like, I don't know, it was probably a year ago, and they are reposting my
fabulous.
post.
Right.
They are doing it, so it's obviously in their queue as something that they liked, that they're going to keep posting.
Very
It keeps
cool.
popping up. It's crazy.
and that kind of brings us to, the whole point of the panel is, impressions versus conversions. And we want to talk about the definition of impressions, because you mentioned impressions, it's still getting impressions. Whereas an affiliate manager, it's great that you're getting impressions, but at the end of the day, that's not making my merchants any money
We
for
want
you
to
getting
spend money.
impressions. It's not making you any money for getting impressions. So a quick question before we get into the definition. Do you think that most bloggers understand the difference between impressions and conversions on a fundamental level?
no.
Especially if you're just starting out. So that's something that, again, with those very basic emails, you kind of save that for maybe a later
The
email.
second or third email.
The second email. But I think that at some point, in order to be a successful blogger and publisher, you do have to understand what that means and strive towards it.
The first time somebody asked me how many impressions, after I had just taken over on the editorial side of The Broke Ass Bride, somebody asked me how many impressions we got, and I was like, math? And that, obviously now that I'm a little bit more seasoned, I understand it better, but it's still, like, it's one of those words that I'm like,
I hear it a
somebody
lot.
else answer that for me? Like, do I have anybody? But
Well, that's the difference, because that's what a brand is looking for. That is the first thing that they're going to
Yes.
ask you. What are your impressions? What are your page views? How many,
And the first thing an affiliate manager is going to ask you if you pitch us is, well, do you do any other affiliate marketing, and how does it convert?
Yeah.
So we'll get into the definition. And like I mentioned at the top, I did tweet out a blog post earlier with the definitions in it, so you don't necessarily have to scratch and write it down. But in the context of online marketing, a conversion is the proportion of people viewing an ad and going to buy the product or click the link or take whatever the ad's desired action is. So that's to say, if you put an affiliate link on your site and 50 people view it versus 20 people actually clicked on it and bought a product, you take those numbers and that's your conversion rate. So we want to know, out of how many people that clicked on it, how many people bought. So basically it would be like 20 divided by 50, and that's your conversion rate.
Which would be really good.
Yeah, well, which is an amazing conversion rate, yeah. And impressions are when an ad is fetched from the server, it's counted. That's all an impression is.
Like the ad loads.
It literally
on
loaded
your
on the
page.
computer, so somebody saw it. That's all an impression
theory,
is.
they saw it.
In theory, somebody saw it. So it's whether or not the ad's clicked on or any actions taking, that doesn't take into account at all for an impression to be counted.
but impression is also per person. Like, it's not over, like, one person sees it over and over again.
Yeah, it's every time it loads. So
It's
even
every
if
time
it's
it's loaded,
100
so if I
people-
go to
See,
your-
I'm learning something here, y'all.
It's every time it's loaded, so if I go to your website and an ad pops up, that's one impression. If I go away and go to Mindy's site and then I come back to yours and it's loaded again, that's another
That's another
impression.
one. Okay.
Yeah. Because impressions are different from like unique page views.
Word.
So unique page views, that would only be counted as one because I have the
Right.
same IP address and it looks like I just came back to your site. So that's a little different. And I don't think I put the definition of unique page views on there, so something
But I
for
don't think that
later.
matters.
No.
Affiliates.
And yeah, that's
That's
what,
from a
the
brand
little bit
perspective.
of work that I've, done with brands has been very, well, if you get 50,000 impressions, that's amazing. We want to work with you. If a blogger comes to me and says, I have a 10,000 person social reach and I get 50,000 impressions,
She doesn't
okay.
care.
I mean, it's not that I don't care, because, eventually, as the conversation progresses, I may ask for that and want to know that information. But up front, what I would much rather know is, well, are you already doing affiliate marketing? Do you make any sales? Or are you, and even if, a blogger is very new and says, honestly, I'm just getting into this, I want to learn, that's all. That's all I really want to know before I will then say, okay, you're worth, it's worth my time to help you however I can to get to that point where you're converting, which is what my clients, the merchants, want from you. They don't necessarily want your 50,000 impressions, they want 50,000 sales. So it's just knowing, when you talk to an affiliate manager, the bottom line is what's important and how you can contribute to the bottom line. And if you need help getting to that bottom line, that's fine. Like, we're more than willing to help you, but we would need to know that. But coming to us saying, I have 50,000 page views and I get, 10,000 social reach. I love your products. Can I have one to write about? I'm not saying an affiliate manager will never be able to give you a product to review. We've done it before. It just depends on the merchant and, if they get it in terms of, understanding that there is brand value there. But that's not what we're in it for, and it's harder for us to weed out the lazy bloggers versus the good bloggers at that point. If you're coming at us and saying, I love your product, I really like one, I have this kind of reach, I'm like, well, are you just trying to get a free product, or are you really going to be in this for the long term? And are you trying to make money on this more than just an upfront free t-shirt?
And I think that
or,
shows just the inexperience, too, of most bloggers, because they are coming off of working with these brands who, they will send them a product for review, they will pay them for a sponsored post. They don't have a clue. And just in my own network, one of the things that we put out there in the new year is, what do you want to learn about? What's new? Because we do a lot of education, blogger education. And the top thing from everybody was, I want to learn more about affiliate marketing. They want to learn. They want to do this. They know this is the direction they need to be going in, that they can make money, but they have absolutely no clue.
Yeah, and
How
I
to
think it's
work with you
important,
guys.
for us to do panels like this that talk about bridging that gap, because I can't even tell you how many conversations I've been a part of in the last 4 years that have been affiliates, like bloggers are this untapped, there's so much potential there to make so much money. Like, even if, you just go back and put links in old posts
Yeah.
that are still getting traction, there's so much potential, but bloggers aren't getting it. And so there's been all this effort in the last few years to bridge that gap between, affiliate managers wanting to work with bloggers and wanting bloggers to work with them, and it's seemed kind of one-sided. So it's really good to hear that finally, bloggers are kind of getting into the, well, tell me more about this affiliate.
Yeah.
And that very much comes in with education.
Yeah.
I know with my consulting clients especially, the number one thing, one of the very first questions I'm asked is, when do I start making money? And do I get free stuff?
That hurts.
And the problem with both of those is, how much work are you going to put into it? That's usually my retort, is how much work are you going to put into it? Oh, okay, so you're going to go ahead and put in their links for a company whose product that you might want. Go ahead and put in their links. Go ahead and start driving some clicks, some traffic their way. Once your affiliate manager sees that you're actually performing, whether or not you make conversions, but
That you're
once
putting in
they
an
see
effort.
that you
Right.
put in the effort and you put in the time, then you can start talking about things like free product or sponsored posts or something of the ilk, because maybe your audience just needs that little extra
Push.
boost,
Yeah.
that little extra push. And a lot of times that does come from the personalized experience of the blogger in the form of product reviews. I know, for instance, my audience wants to hear what I have to say about products or my experience with a certain merchant. And sometimes I won't get free products, but I will go in and buy something and experience the entire customer experience myself so that I can turn around and speak to that. And that increases my credibility with my audience, which then leads to conversions,
Right.
which makes money and makes all of us happy.
And if, to go back to how you would pitch an affiliate manager for something like that, if you said straight up, like, I'm getting these clicks, but it's not converting, and I'm not really sure why, or I think I know that maybe it's because my readers don't have any experience with this brand, and if you say, like, I would like to do an order so I can write about the experience, I think that shows an affiliate manager, at least shows me, that you're willing to try, and you're actually looking at the conversion rate and knowing that that's what's important to me and my, client, the merchant. So knowing that, well, what we're interested in is conversions, if you're like, okay, you got to help me to help you, basically. So if you came at me and said, we're getting a lot of traffic on them, we see a lot of people clicking on it and we can see our stats in the network, but it's just not doing much. I think if I did this, it would help. That's much easier for me to go to the merchant and say, or even, me to go to my boss if I work for the merchant and say, hey, can we, give them a gift card or something so that they can place this order, buy whatever they want, and then talk about the experience. Because yes, it's costing us a little bit up front, but there's a higher potential that it will convert later.
And then the ROI is better. I mean,
Right.
it's there. It exists.
Yeah, so and it's not gonna pan out every time, but it's less of a risk for us than if a blogger who we don't know from Adam comes to us and says, I have this many page views, I have this many impressions, I want to talk about this, can you give me a free blouse? And I say, okay. So we could be just out that free blouse and never see anything from it. Because we've had that happen where we've taken the effort to sign up the blogger for the affiliate program, they get in, we tell them how to get the links, we send them the free product, they put a post up with 0 links in it.
Boo.
What?
Don't do that.
Bad.
Yeah. So it's like, well,
Oh, wow.
I did what I could to educate you, but on that, you're missing out on your own money at that point. You just did all that work for a $30 blouse where you could be making hundreds of dollars later.
And can I talk about the difference between, working with brands as like a small blogger,
Please.
and working with affiliates? I think it's really important, and I'm speaking mostly to the bloggers and publishers out there. A lot of people you start small, you start from the beginning, you have a small audience, and you can't really take your tiny stats and go to a brand and expect them to give you $500 to talk about their product.
Right.
But you can work with an affiliate manager because it's not about how many unique page views you get or how many people come to your blog. If you have a product, like I focus on Disney items, and I have it's a small blog. I'll never be a huge mega power blog because that's just not my niche. But I can go to Trisha Lynn and say, what Disney products do you have? I get 1,000 page views a month. Mm-hmm. But she knows that all of those people, majority of those people, are looking for Disney products.
Disney,
so I
right.
can do Disney. And then if I can show that I have successful conversions on that, then I can perhaps take those stats not only and find other affiliate managers and other networks to work with, but I could also potentially take that to a brand that is selling the same type of product that my audience is into, and I can say, I've been doing this with affiliate markets. These are my impressions, which is what the brand cares about, but also here's what's converting. I have a high conversion rate if I talk about this type of product, and as a blogger, if you're having trouble getting your foot in the door, you can use those affiliate stats to try to pitch yourself.
That is a great point, because it's true, brands only want to see your page views. I mean, and I have a relatively small blog as well. I started a long time ago, so I have a lot of brand relationships. But if you're just starting out, that's a good point.
Start with affiliate.
Because again, when you're working for a brand and they're asking you for your page views, there's no guarantee that anybody who's seeing that post on, the latest cereal is going out and buying that cereal. There's no way to track that conversion.
And obviously you can't promise a brand that you'll have the same type of success with them, but if you're a small blogger or publisher and you're having trouble getting direct brand campaigns, start with affiliates and rock those affiliates. And you don't necessarily have to, everyone talks about, well, you have to increase your traffic, you have to increase your page views, and that's the only way you can work with brands. That's not true. Start with the affiliates, have awesome sales with your affiliates, have awesome relationships with your affiliate managers, and also your affiliate manager can vouch for you if a brand wants to talk to somebody about working with you.
Yeah, and it's a great foot in the door too if you're talking about wanting to work with a brand that has an affiliate program, but you can't get the brand manager for that brand to answer your email.
It's great
It's
leverage.
much more likely that you're going to get the affiliate manager to answer the email. And if you say to your affiliate manager, look, I'm really interested in working with your brand. I love your products. I want to talk about them. I've not had any success, but how can I be successful with the affiliate marketing? Then it's more, if it's an in-house situation, it's more likely where the affiliate manager can go to the brand manager and say, hey, we have this blogger that's rocking it. You might want to talk to them.
Yes.
So don't give up.
Or vice versa.
And people talk. People, we
In the
all
industry,
talk
too,
amongst
yeah.
ourselves.
And so do we. I mean, bloggers
Yeah.
So do
talk.
bloggers, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you're saying
we're all
you talk behind my
gossipy
back.
bunch.
is what you're saying.
But we
No.
all know who's doing really great
Right,
Yeah.
right.
and who's not.
And,
So-
which affiliate managers are really awesome to
Yeah.
work with.
Yes.
You'll build up a reputation, and if
Yes.
I love working with Trisha Lynn, I'm going to tell all my blogger friends, you guys got to work with Trisha Lynn because she's got your back, she's going to get you what you need, she's going to help you succeed.
Adverse, if you're a jerk, I will say something to my
We talk
my
about that,
blogger
too.
friends, and I'll be like, so instead of working with them, maybe go work with these people. They have a competitor, they're better, they're going to work with you better.
Yeah.
And that's, that's something where stats don't necessarily matter.
No,
Because
it's all about the relationship at that point.
I mean, case study, like on-the-fly case study. You wrote a whole blog post about eyewear.
Yes.
And brides.
Yes.
And the merchant jacked you in the end, to put it nicely. So I said, well, we have an eyewear merchant. All the links got changed.
All the links got
And you
changed,
made
and
sales.
it converted. It converted.
Yeah.
The second Trisha Lynn and I talked about that, I went through, I changed the link, I reshared out the post. It's still one of our top posts, 2 years later? And I did make conversions almost immediately as soon as I changed those links. And the only reason I knew to do that was because I had discussed it with Trisha
Yeah.
Lynn and was like, yeah, man, I did this entire post on brides wearing glasses on their wedding day. And this affiliate program, they closed like the day that I put the post live, and no warning. They had sent me the glasses. I had been working with them, so I went through. I took out all the information about that particular company, changed my links so it was only keywords and directed toward Trisha Lynn's program, and it's been very successful for me.
That's a great example.
On-the-fly case study. So one other thing that we wanted to get out there before we open it up to questions is, we talked about sometimes as an affiliate manager, since we're not used to necessarily pitching bloggers specifically, we're used to, in doing our recruiting, we're used to saying, hey, we have this data feed, we have an EPC, we have an AOV, we have all this great stuff that means something to a seasoned affiliate marketer, but to a blogger's, chatter in one ear. What can we, the question for you guys, what can we as affiliate managers do to tone down that intimidation factor where we're not just like inundating you with stats and you're like, what? So what can we do as affiliate managers in that initial conversation, whether that's what are we putting in the subject line or how are we addressing you, other than the obvious things of read your blog, know who you are, are there other things that we could do to tone that down so it's not so intimidating?
I would say, obviously, we've covered this a little bit, but don't focus on stats, focus more on the benefits and information on the brand that you're trying to push, some of the products, and its relevancy. And then, once the conversation is going, then you can approach stats. This is also information that, we can find in the network for the most part if we know where to look. And that's something that you can direct us toward. So not only information on the brand, but information on where to find that information in the network so that you're helping educate us on the basics, but also pushing us a little bit to do the research ourselves. And that's how we become educated and we're able to speak a little bit better. But in initial contact, make it very much like, this is who I am, this is who I work with, these are the brands that I represent, here's how I think they would be a great fit. If you would like to see more specific statistical information, here's where you can find that.
Yeah, and we're always happy, just as an aside on that, if you don't know where to find that in the network, I'll tell you. It's no secret.
Also,
Because some networks can be kind of intimidating as well. There's a barrier of entry with a lot of networks to find where the reports are, where the stats are, where the different links are, because they're in different places, you know. So that's our job as well. Like, you know, I said earlier that our job is really to answer your questions and answer your emails. Our job is as much of that as it is to tell you how to navigate the networks.
I would also
And that doesn't just benefit us, like for my program, it benefits every other affiliate manager, and it also benefits other programs I might manage, because now that you're more savvy, you're interested in other brands and expanding and saying, okay, well, I've really knocked out these Disney t-shirts. What can I do with,
What else you got?
yeah, what else do you have?
I would also say in that initial email, give us examples of what has worked with other people that are similar. You know, people who have had success in a similar niche. It doesn't have to be the exact same niche, but in a similar niche. Give us examples of how they've used whatever program to leverage success, and so that we can see something that's direct and actionable and be able to brainstorm on our own or with our affiliate manager. And also say this, I know it seems so rudimentary, but say, I am available for any questions you may have, whether it's statistical or you need something from me. Please feel free to reach out to me.
Yeah, make sure it's a conversation.
There should always
Absolutely.
be a conversation.
And I think when you're just putting information out there and you're just sending emails, either randomly or to specific bloggers, and they're not that comfortable with affiliate marketing, if you don't say, you know, please reach out to me, I'd be happy to answer questions, I'd be happy to go over our program with you. If you don't put that in there, trust me, it'll delete, it'll go to trash, you won't ever hear from them again. And I do like the idea of giving them a few examples, especially people who reach out to you and say, hey,
Right.
I'm new at this. Send them a couple links to some posts that worked really well.
I will
just
say
so
on
they have
that,
some idea.
I will say on that, make sure you get the permission from the blogger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course,
because
of course.
the main problem that I see with that, like as an affiliate manager, is we are in the business of not telling affiliates about other affiliates,
Oh,
even
okay.
though it's obvious, you know, a good affiliate knows who their competitor is in the space, just like a good brand or a good, you know, a retailer knows who their competitor is in the space. But it's a really testy thing when you start saying, you know, like if we talked about this on a panel before, if somebody asked me, well, who are your top affiliates? If it's an affiliate asking me, I'm not going to tell you necessarily, because that's not my place to do that. But I can tell you where you rank in the top, or, you know, how close you are to the top, or how much, maybe I could tell you, well, I could tell you the top person makes this many sales, you know? I could give you an idea so you can kind of do the you know, kind of put the pieces together on your own.
But that doesn't necessarily help either. Like
Right.
especially for those that are just starting out in affiliate marketing, they want to see actionable and, you know, concrete evidence of, you know, what's working. How are people using? Are they using images? Are they using data
That's-
feeds? Are
and-
they using
Right, and
Exactly,
getting
and
that
that's-
kind of
and that-
information
yes.
is different.
Yes.
So
Okay.
yeah, I could
'Cause
easily
that's what I was
give
more
you
referring to. I want to see how somebody crafted a post. I
right.
don't care about the conversions.
actual post.
Right, I don't want
Yeah.
to know that. I don't need to know that, but I want to see,
Are they
you know,
using
coming off
images?
a
Are they
brand,
using banners?
exactly,
Are
and
they
coming off, you
text
know,
links
doing
only?
sponsored stuff where it's like, okay, this is, I've been given all this information. Here's how I craft my post. Now, if I'm just putting clicks into a post, give me some idea of what a good affiliate post looks like.
Right, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and affiliate managers could say even something basic like, we have this product or this merchant who's converting really well with affiliates via Instagram, or tweets are doing well.
Or widgets or something.
Yeah, or a carousel widget or something like that. And if someone is having success pairing a few different products together, you can give them some ideas, like it seems like this is working well in gift guides for the holidays, or seems to be
Right.
working well for Valentine's Day. You can give some hints without
Right, so
giving
you're saying
away
examples,
exactly what's happening.
Yeah, examples are vital.
Yeah.
The actual link to the actual blog, not so much.
Don't do that.
All right, good. All right.
yeah.
Well, do we have any final parting words before we open it up to questions?
I'd like to hear if there's any questions.
I'm just going to reiterate that, the relationships are the most important part, and communication is vital. Obviously, communication is vital for any relationship, but especially with both your brand managers and your affiliate managers. Make sure that you're asking the questions. Don't be afraid to. That's what they're there for. And I mean, if you have a problem with something, it doesn't just have to be like, help me, but you can also be like, this isn't working for me, or I'm not comfortable with this. Let's try a different approach. Can you maybe not do this because it's not useful? And then that way, you're not wasting your affiliate manager's time having them, craft these emails for you, but you're also not wasting your own time by having to open it and be like, shit, delete.
Yeah, I mean, we need to know that kind of thing, and we need to know if we get a lot of good feedback that the posts we're writing for people, and they're, if we write like a couple paragraphs and tell an affiliate, we'll add a couple paragraphs of your own so it's not, duplicate content, and that seems to work and we get good feedback, then we're going to keep doing it. But if our affiliates yell at us and tell us, don't do that, like, we don't like that, it's insulting. Oh, okay. That saves me time. Like, we'll do it the way you want to do it. But, we can only, it has to be a two-way conversation, because if we don't know, I mean, like, newsletters are a good example. I had a conversation yesterday with somebody, with an affiliate in one of our programs, that said, the newsletters you send that are all coupons don't do any good for me, because I'm not a coupon blogger and I don't really deal with sales. I can't keep up. So if you sent something out that had like, here are our top 10 products that you might want to promote, and here are upcoming holidays, it's like, that's more useful than coupons for me personally. But on the other side, we've gotten feedback from other people that says, I just want the deals because that's all I post about. I'm a deal blogger. So it's like knowing, we can't please everybody all the time, but knowing, what's working and what's not in terms of what we're doing, we're just going to do the same thing over and over again if nobody tells us they don't want it. So it has to, we can't be better affiliate managers and really do what we can to help you if you don't tell us how to help you. And likewise, you can't be better affiliates as bloggers unless we tell you, hey, your impressions are great, but we kind of don't care about that. Right. We do, but don't, So just kind of knowing how to talk to a brand manager versus an affiliate manager, and knowing that our goals are different. Just like knowing that your goals are different when we talk to you. Like, your goal may just be, I just want to get sponsored posts, and I just want to get up front, and I don't really want to do any back end work because I don't have time for that. That's fine. If I understand that that's your goal, I can work with you better, and vice versa. If you understand that I'm interested in conversions and she's interested in impressions, that helps the conversation just go off from there, and we don't have these weird mismatch expectations that are, I'm not talking to you about conversions and you keep talking to me about impressions, or vice versa. They keep talking to you about conversions and you're like, okay, well, sales are awesome, but we kind of just want the exposure. Right. We have different goals, so just understand that we have different goals, and everybody's expectations will be better. Okay, so
There you have it.
do we have any questions? There's a mic right in the center. If you could jump up and grab the mic.
And that's for the people watching later.
Yes, for the video.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you. So my question is, I'm an affiliate publisher. I do niche contenting, reviews. I'm thinking about adding blogging to what I'm doing. And I've heard you talk about these branded pay-for-post opportunities, which I was aware of. Are they the sorts of things that you can also put affiliate links onto? So if you've paid me for the post, can I put affiliate links for your company on it?
Generally, no.
Okay. Thank you.
That said, there are some that will let you.
Generally, no. It really depends on the client and the network that you're working for, and it's perfectly okay to ask.
Yeah, always ask.
Perfectly okay.
Yeah. That said, if you're receiving a sponsored post through a network, oftentimes, and they'll still stipulate whether or not it's okay, but oftentimes they might. So if I were to say, Minted, for example, if they were to approach me and be like, hey, I want a sponsored post, and they're one of my merchants in an affiliate program, I would be like, is that a sponsored post with affiliate links in it? And they might say yes, they might say no. They might say no for 6 months, and then if you want to reshare the post later, then yes, absolutely monetize that. Because it still works in their benefit. They're still making money from it, but it might be an exclusivity for a certain period of time.
And some networks too will allow it as long as it's not going to be competing with the brand that you're writing about. So again, it really sort of depends and always ask.
Yeah, always ask, and if they come back and say no, it's worth coming back and saying, well, do you have an exclusivity period? Can I, after 6 months, would it be okay, or is it a flat no? Because maybe that's something they didn't consider, and no one's ever asked them, so, yeah, always ask, because if you can double dip, as we call it, that's always the best
always a
for
good
the
thing.
publisher and for the blogger, so
And
always ask.
And I would say definitely, when you approach an affiliate, if you approach a brand manager or an affiliate manager, with that, be specific as to, is it okay if I put the brand's affiliate link in there? Because again, I've seen, sponsored post about this particular merchant, and then there's a link to a different merchant in the post.
Competing merchant.
Yeah, that's
not.
And if you use something like
general, it's
skim
not
links,
gonna
if you
go
use something like skim links or VigLink or any other contextual link tool, Ninja links, anything that will take a keyword and make it into an affiliate link, just in general, and I'm sure you would agree with this, make sure that if you put a sponsored post, that's turned off for the
Yes,
post.
and I have
because you may not even know
yeah.
that there's an affiliate link in there for a competing merchant, and then the brand manager sees it and
Yeah.
they're like, oh, hell no.
And I've gone back to bloggers and I've asked them to take it out.
Yeah.
Sir?
Yeah, so if you're just getting into this, you're new affiliate marketing manager, and you want to reach out to a blogger, what's the best way to start that? You're like, I know exactly the bloggers I want. I know the top in our industry. You send an email. What should the subject line say? You have any tips on that?
Well, I will reiterate what another panelist at a different panel this week said was what did they say? Don't put in sponsored opportunity or affiliate opportunity. Don't say affiliate opportunity. Be specific. If you have a 10% payout, say 10% payout for this brand in the subject
Yes.
line. Or if it's a lead-based, dollar click, dollar bounty or whatever, in the thing, because they'll have, you guys get a lot of emails, so you are very adept with filters, is what I'm told. So, kind of the more specific you can be, the better. And I have found as an affiliate manager that when I send out an email that says, earn 10% commission on sales for this brand, that gets opened and responded to more than invitation to join the blah, blah, blah affiliate program.
I will also say, don't do something like if you were to email me, don't be like, hey, Broadcast Bride, you can earn blah, blah, blah with this program. Because I'm going to be like, spam, later. You keep it short, keep it simple, keep it intriguing. And don't put my blog name in the subject line. I know who I am.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And use first names.
No, that's
please.
interesting because, so if somebody said, hey, Christen, I have an offer for you or
I
something.
would still, no.
Really?
Just keep it literally what you have to offer. Don't address me in the subject line, address me in the email.
Yeah,
I've heard
I would-
competing things. That's why
I
I'm
would
interested
say
in that.
for me, and again, this is interesting because every blogger
Everybody's
is a
different.
little bit different.
Yeah.
For me, I want to know what the product is in the subject line, and sometimes if it's just a brand name, I don't know what that brand name is.
Right,
And
yeah.
so tell me why you're reaching out to me, if it's a recipe or if it's, if you want me to write about wine, tell me you're sending me free wine in the email, and I will open your email every time.
Everybody will.
But-
Also, I always accept bourbon or champagne.
But, and again, my niche is Disney, so if you have Disney products, tell me in the subject line, we want to work with you, we
And that's
have this product.
Again, another, on-the-fly case study. I have a merchant that if I emailed her and in the merchant, if in the subject line I said, Romwe products, she'd be like, who?
Yeah.
But I said, some t-shirts.
And I was
Or
like,
I said,
know what
we've
that
got some
is.
Disney stuff for
Yeah.
you. Then it's like, oh, well, all right.
I will
I mean,
look
it helps that you see who it's from and you're like, okay, well,
And I realize
open.
that it's much easier
But
to
yeah.
send mass emails and to not personalize anything, and you reach more people. But if you take the time to check the website, check our name, customize the subject line, customize that first sentence to let me know that you looked at my blog and you know what my topics are, you're going to get better quality results if you take that extra time.
And sometimes I'll go and I'll click open an email and I'll read it, and then I'll go back to see how they addressed it afterwards. And if they use, Dear Carolyn, I am way more likely to respond. Way more likely.
If you want to work with us,
Yeah.
take the time to work with us.
Yeah.
And don't say dear blogger, please.
Oh
ever.
my God. And don't put like our blog name in parentheses too, because that's an obvious copy.
And,
we know it's a mail
don't
merge.
say we love your blog if you've never looked at it, please. Because it's pretty obvious if you're pitching something that has nothing to do with our blog.
I think we might have time for one more question if anybody has anything.
Anyone?
No?
Speak now, forever hold your peace.
Voodoo economics. All right.
All right.
right.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
for
Don't
coming.
forget to
Don't
fill
forget to fill out the
form.
feedback. Yeah.
Especially if you want more sessions on blogging, if
Yes.
that's something
Yeah.
that interests you, blogging and publishers.
Please
Please
fill
fill out the forms for us because
That's the only way Affiliate Summit knows. That
that's what I
people
want to
that.
see. So, thank you for
Thank you,
coming.
Thank you
guys.
so much.